Okay, so I am a mortgage broker. I'm not a mortgage broker. I'm a mortgage broker and life/health insurance specialist. How and why would I write a book about that, and who would buy it?
That is a good question. It's a very good question.
I don't know who asked it.
No, nor do I. I can't remember. I'm really sorry if you asked that question. I do apologise.
Poor note taking.
Sorry. So yeah, it is a good question. Loads of people, anybody who has a vested interest in providing for their family will be interested in a book that you can write. And it doesn't have to necessarily be about your industry. So for example, one of my clients has written a book called The Later Living Guide. She's a solicitor, but she's written about all aspects of getting older and making sure that you and your family are well looked after. And of course there's some stuff that, pertaining to wills and powers of attorney and all of that kind of thing. But she's also pulled in other experts and talked about how to find a care home and how to choose, how to sort your pension out and all of that kind of thing as well. That isn't directly related to her industry, but is super useful for the people that she's going to be talking about making wills and powers of attorney and executing wills and all that kind of thing. So think about it that way. What are people, if you're a mortgage broker, what kind of a book would be really interesting to people? Would be, I don't know, maybe how to buy a property in as stress-free a way as possible. So all of your time as a mortgage broker, what top tips have you got for people buying their, you could write a book specifically aimed at first-time buyers. You could write a book aimed at people who are property developers. You could write a book aimed at people
buy-to-letting.
Buy-to-let, all sorts. And what will people find useful? And as for the life and health insurance, well, what else, what can you write about around that? What do people need to look for in life insurance? Why might they need it? What stories can you tell from people who you've worked with?
I reckon there's a whole bunch of people out there who feel a little bit chaotic, are effectively grown-up teenagers with a proper job, who really have a kind of slightly nervous fear that they haven't got their shit sorted.
Yeah.
And so you could properly, if you can hook into those people, they'll buy your book and they'll sort their shit out. And
they'll sort it out with you because you're the one who solved their problem. And remember, you don't have to just think a bit wider. I don't want to use the phrase think outside the box because it's a bit wanky, but think outside the box. Frankly, think outside your box. You're a life and health insurance specialist for sure, but within that goes all of this other stuff that Joe's just mentioned about, actually, I don't feel like I've got my shit together. So what else do people who haven't got their life and health insurance sorted, what else do they struggle with? Usually stuff like car insurance.
They haven't written a will.
They haven't, they don't know how to, stuff like they don't know how to plan for a holiday. And, there's a bazillion adult, how to adult. You could write a book called How to Adult.
Yeah, totally could.
Yeah, and, how to adult without turning into a cardigan wearing boring person. I'm really sorry to anyone who wears cardigans. I'm wearing a cardigan right now. Hi, Trumps.
Hi, Trumps.
A bit of an inside joke that nobody is going to get.
Nobody will get that.
Yeah. So I hope that's given you a few ideas for a book that you can write. You don't have to write about mortgage broking and the insurance industry because you're right, that would be really boring and nobody wants to buy it. But if you write a book helping people who are feeling a bit chaotic feel like they're a bit less chaotic and that they can cope with adulting, that's really powerful.
Yeah.
So what goes with it?
I'd buy that book.
I would as well. Write the book. We need the book. Write the book, dude. So yeah, I hope that. And who would buy it? I think we've just answered that. Anybody who
knows there's things out there that they should have done but they haven't.
Yeah, I mean, we've literally just got our wills sorted and we're, 40-ish.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was grown up enough getting a bloody mortgage.
It was.
So anyway, I hope that has answered your question. I hope that you, Mr. Mortgage Broker and Life Health Insurance Specialist, now the only thing I remember is that it was a bloke who sent that in. So yeah, I hope that's helped and I hope that you're going to write a book because I think it's a book that people will need.
Yeah, that would work.
Yeah.